The Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, has taken to the streets in a coordinated nationwide protest demanding urgent government action on the worsening insecurity plague in the country. From Abuja to Lagos, Enugu to Kano, workers and civil society groups are saying enough is enough. The protests come just hours after failed talks between the NLC leadership and President Bola Tinubu. Placards read, "Nigeria is bleeding, end banditry now and secure our schools." The message is clear. Nigerians are tired of living in fear.
This is to call attention on the seriousness of both financial and physical insecurity. And you can see from him even agreeing to talk with us yesterday, he's getting momentum. And as we progress, the awareness and consciousness will be created. So I don't see why, people will try to demarcate themselves.
People are now afraid to move out of their homes and go to their places of work or where they ply their trade. People are afraid. Some people that their hobby is traveling. They are now struck it off from their hobby. You are afraid. You don't know whether as you are moving out of your home, you are returning back to one piece. You are afraid of kidnapping. You are afraid of ritual killings. We are just afraid. And the work of the government, they take an oath. The oath is to protect lives and property. So we want to use this to be a wake-up call to those who are the leaders in the country to wake up to their responsibility of security.
Echo, it is unhappiness, but the seat of power will keep mute. So, as we are aware, we are unable. We must thank people for what they did that we feel is good. And we will tell them we are not happy where we are not happy. Mr. President, we sincerely appreciate your effort and your concern towards inviting our leaders to come and sit and come out with solvable solutions that will help the masses. Your Excellency, sir, security is an issue that we at Labour feels without it, there can never be a nation. For every nation that is bedeviled with insecurity of this magnitude, we are at the brink of collapse. We sincerely thank God Kano State is peaceful. We have a peaceful atmosphere in Kano. We have less of these crimes, but still, we need to continue putting more efforts to make sure that what is happening in other places did not come into Kano and involve our people. We have the belief, Your Excellency, that you are doing your best to make Kano secure. We have the beliefs, Your Excellency, that you are...
Well, joining us now for this discussion is Public Relations Officer, Nigeria Labour Congress, Lagos State Chapter, Ismail Adejumo joins us this morning. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Great.
So
there seemed to have been a reminder or a mention of this protest, but many, as usual, didn't take it very seriously. So was there a specific tipping point that enabled the NLC to forward march and ensure that they speak truth to power, as it were? Can you tell us about that?
Thank you very much. The issue at stake at this moment is a very critical national issue of national security. Fundamentally and constitutionally, the basic responsibility of any responsible government is to protect life and property and the well-being of the masses. And we, the working people of Nigeria, we are not exception. We are a major integral part of the larger society. And whatever that happens to our members, have a ripple effect to the larger society. Majorly, working people have a lot of dependents. And most of these people are being kidnapped, on the road to demanding for ransom. Majorly, we fall on the decks of most of the public working people for rescue, for them to pay the ransom. And the money is not there. So it is high time the Nigerian Labour Congress deliberated and felt that it is time we lend our voice to the general insecurity that is ravaging most part of the country.
All right, Mr. Adejumo, sorry to butt in. I don't know if you can hear us, but please, we'd like you to turn on the camera of your device, if you can, so we can actually get to see you, especially for the benefit of the viewers. Thank you so much. All right, so please go ahead. You were trying to wrap up the reasons for the march.
Yes, the reason is just, in Labour Palace, we say injury to one is injury to all. Here in Lagos, where we are, Lagos is one of the most peaceful states in Nigeria, as you know. And we are very, very mindful. Our government in Lagos, is a government that's very proactive. They take proactive measures before insecurity, ravage our communities or enter the state. So it is on that note that in the spirit of solidarity, when this kind of protest is called, it builds on us as integral part of the larger labor movement to lend our voice as a wake-up call to the government that they must build up their security strategy, they must deploy technology, they must gather useful intelligence at this time, most especially through the rural community, our traditional rulers, our market women, traders, all the stakeholders that has one or two useful information to dictate and fish out criminals within the community. So we are calling on government. Lagos State government, as you know, have been at the top in terms of security management. We have Lagos State Security Trust Fund, which is highly funded. A lot of intervention have been carried out recently. We just had yesterday, after our protest, that the governor of Lagos has just purchased about 100 vehicles for the Nigerian police to beef up the security in the state. So we are solidarizing with our colleagues in the northern part of the country, and most especially that is cascading down to the north central Kwara state is being attacked, Kogi, and all these states have direct or proximity to Lagos. So that's why we are out to solidarize with the larger working people and the masses of Nigeria. The government must, as a matter of urgency, declare national emergency on security. Because once security is collapsed, the government fails. I will not allow the government to fail because we, as stakeholders, we are partner in progress. We must ensure that there is protection of life and property and the well-being of Nigerians is guaranteed by the Constitution. So that's why we are out, nothing more.
Okay. All right. And also, I just want to confirm, I know that there were protests or demonstrations that happened in multiple parts of the country. Yesterday, we spoke with our correspondent in Kaduna, in different parts of the nation as the protest was being carried out. How successful will you rate the demonstration yesterday? And would you say it has the desire, the effect of being able to put pressure on the government as you intended it to?
Quite frankly, you will observe nationwide that there are peculiar cases in some states. Like Lagos, for instance, a peculiar state. I told you, we are not having much of security threat here, but we will just want to be proactive, to ginger our government, to be at the top of the game. If you look around the country, you will observe that some states also have some relative peace, as against some places that are being ravaged by these criminal elements, banditry, kidnapping, and all sorts of terrorism acts that, call for concern. And that is why most states that also have most of these tendencies, observe it in a very low key. In Lagos, in our usual character, that is not the way we know. It was on a low key, just a peaceful march to the State House of Assembly to lay down our demand. And the same thing happened in most of states. So you will not expect much, turnout at this time because even the government at the center, the federal government, have already opened the door for negotiation with the leadership of the labor movement. As of yesterday, they were at the villa, trying to dialogue and engage with the president on how to revive the security architecture of this country without, exception to anybody. We commend the government of the federal government for withdrawing, police from all these VIPs who goes around with multiple of security personnel. Protecting the individual is a big risk to the nation because it is the institution that needs to be protected. The nation as a whole must be, firmly protected, not individual. But when we do that, we don't affect our security personnel. And there is need for government as well to, as a matter of urgency, recruit more security personnel into the police, into the civil defense, and all the state of the federation must also complement the federal government in ensuring that they also, invest heavily in local security, so that security is everybody's business. It's not only the federal government, the state government, even the local government. They have their security vote. They must complement and ensure that there is peace at this festive period, so that most people want to travel. They are scared of committing through the road. And look at the air ticket now. If you are traveling from Lagos to Abuja, you must have almost 500,000 return tickets. So this call for concern. That's why we are calling on the federal government to do what is needed to be done at this time. We appreciate what they have been doing in terms of prompt response to some of this kidnapping. And we urge them to do more, so that our society can be rid of all these criminal elements.
Now, I recall you did mention in your submission that an injury to one member is an injury to all. And that brings me to this question. I do understand you represent the Lagos chapter, but what impact has the insecurity situation in Nigeria had on Nigerian workers directly? And what message is the NLC sending to the federal government and security agencies? What's next after this round of protests?
Thank you very much. Insecurity is an imminent danger to every citizen, both the working and non-working people. But within the working class, we are being threatened, because if you look at the reported cases of kidnapping and all this, some of them are working people, even in the armed forces, kidnapped, demanding for ransom. So it's an economic threat in the sense that even the farmers who are coming to the urban to sell their farm produce, will be scared, because of the insecurity on the road, and it's cause for concern. That's why we see this astronomical rise in the cost of goods, and especially consumables from the rural to the urban. So it's a big threat. We are concerned. The purchasing power of people have already been eroded. So if insecurity now doubles, join into this, then it will go to reduce our purchasing power the more, and it's going to cause a lot of problem of food insecurity, food security. And when there is hunger in the land, then there will be crime. So that is why we are calling on the government to be more proactive, put all necessary technological measures. We can deploy drones. We have some sophisticated cameras that can fish out these people from their hideout and let them be arrested and prosecuted. It is because people are not seeing them be prosecuted. That is why they are almost losing confidence and trust in the approach the government is adopting to address this issue of insecurity. And the labor movement is the only voice for the voiceless. We are the pressure. Look at the clear protest. Government has opened up for discussion. National Assembly has been debating, moving motions, passing resolutions, but that won't come to the attention of government.
Mr. Adejumo, can you hear me? I just want to ask, what is the NLC demanding from the federal government and state governments? Do you have like a list? What are you demanding? And what was the meeting like when you met with the
we want government. Yes, thank you very much. We want government to deploy more security to protect our roads, our communities, our schools. More schools, they need to beef up security around there, because students are very, they are the soft target. Vulnerable people, innocent children will be kidnapped and taken to the deep bush. Some of them will be messed up. So we are calling on government to look at this area and beef up security and ensure that there is protection of life and property of Nigerians. As we approach 2026, we say no to all this kidnapping, banditry, terrorism. We want to go into 2026 with full security guaranteed by the government at all levels, not only the federal government, the state government. Now they are taking double of the allocation they are taking for federation account. They should invest heavily in security, just like Lagos State is doing. Other states should take a cue from that, so that holistically we can attack and address this issue of insecurity. And we want government to prosecute, as a matter of urgency, all those who have been apprehended, or who have been, indicted for involving in all this criminality, they should not shield them. They must be dealt with brutally to serve as a deterrent to any other people who want to perpetrate such acts. That's our demand.
Okay, all right. I mean, I'm sure that the meeting would yield positive results. We just want to stay positive, and we can be certain that if this actually yields, it definitely would benefit every single Nigerian. Thank you so much for your time, and thanks for talking with us here on News Central.